me ask you a question. Why does a rich motherfucker like yourself start taking gigs and flying across the country and going into crowded spaces and going on planes and everything else like that?
One, ultimately, I thought, well, I'd had it. And two, it's what I do. Do you know how horrible it is to see all this shit going on and to know that your gig is to chronicle it and not be able to?
Okay.
It's the fucking gig. It's what I do. It's like you're an essential worker if you make sure that people get their fucking burger on time. But what about if you help them to forget about this bullshit for an hour?
Right. But as someone who is in their 50s,
right,
you have to be smart to get to this age.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You probably wear seatbelts.
Right.
I haven't met too many senior citizens who don't wear seatbelts.
Right.
So you understand self-preservation more
Right.
than a 20-year-old.
Right.
And you understand long-term thinking and everything else like that. And although this is what you do, you understand that not only are you taking a risk, but you're putting everyone around you.
Trust me, I understand it more succinctly.
Right. Imagine if someone around you ended up dying from it, because of you.
It was the first thing I thought.
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought that I had it in January. And like I told you earlier, I was coming to take the antibodies.
Yeah, I took the antibody test and I tested negative.
Yeah.
I think everyone thought that they had it already.
And so.
But I didn't.
But for me, like even to go anywhere, like even to take a gig, you're not gonna do it in California. I had to go to a state where they didn't give a fuck about their people.
Let them all.
They don't give.
Let them all die.
In Texas, they don't give a fuck.
Oh yeah, go to Florida.
Right, they don't care. So, but instantly when I got there, I knew it was like nobody had masks, nobody was social distancing. They had taken the chairs out, obviously. But, you know, we took our temperatures and the oxygen and all the precautionary things you're supposed to do. I never had any symptoms. So I kind of thought it wouldn't be me, and it was.
Yeah, and, you know, Bill Gates recently did an interview, and he talked about sort of what went wrong to get us to this point. And, you know, he looked at when you look at the European countries that were hit really bad, worse than us initially, and now they're doing well. He said the reason for it is because, you know, the leaders of those countries took a very serious approach to it, told everyone to wear masks, told everyone to stay at home. They had their scientists front and center, which they supported.
Right.
And now those countries are doing well. In the US, you got Donald Trump.
Who trucks in misinformation.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. Also what those European countries did, they also took care of their people and made it feasible for them to stay home.
Yeah.
They made it feasible for them to stay home. They suspended mortgages. They made sure that they had $2,000 a month. They made sure. So it became feasible. But now, isn't it funny how we went from caravans of people invading our country and now they're essential workers? Like America was under quarantine so long, when they came back, Black Lives Matter. Like look at all so the reason that we are like that, if you look at why America's in the shape that it is, in addition to the things that Bill Gates said, a lot of countries have a collective attitude. They're worried about the collective. America's an individual.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if I hear one more white person tell me that a mask is like slavery, I think if they say that one more time, we should be able to sell their kids. I ain't bullshitting. Where's my son? Oh, that little fucker's out in the field. Where's my wife? You'll find out. Like they compare, because white people are so devoid of having actually been oppressed that they have to co-opt oppression. They have to co-opt it. They have no examples. We were oppressed because we were these people. They have the least oppression for people.
Well, then you got Trump that's saying the only reason why we have more cases because there's more testing,
right? Which
doesn't take into account that all the hospitals are filling up and all the ICUs and people are dying. People are now dying at a higher rate.
But more than anything else, it's cowardice. It's selfishness and cowardice. Because people, why the fuck? So this is how this works. So the old white men who support him refuse to go to a convention because they know that will put their life in jeopardy. But they want teachers to go back to work. They want teachers to open the school. They want people to go back to work. And they want to vote by mail because they know that being in large crowds is very dangerous. But they want to deny other people that same right. You're demanding that our children go to school, but Barron's school is not going to open.